This boy has challenged a giant tiger, hoping for the magic of the red flower. Unfortunately, things don't go as planned. The title of the movie is The Jungle Book. Are you ready? Then let's go. A little dark-haired boy runs through the tropical forest, and a pack of young wolves rushes after him. A huge black panther appears in one of the trees. The boy deftly climbs another tree, confidently jumps from one branch to another, but falls down, and the panther catches up with him. The predator claims that this boy is the most talentless wolf cub in the world. The fact is that we see Mowgli, a human child raised by wolves. The black panther's name is Bagheera, and he is training young wolves. Bagheera scolds the boy for behaving differently than real wolves, for example, climbing trees. Mowgli is raised by a she-wolf named Raksha, and now the boy considers her children his brothers and sisters. The wolf pack heads to the rocks where another council is taking place. Their leader's name is Akela, and he is a very wise and strong ruler. Akela reminds everyone of the law of the jungle, which says that a wolf is only strong with a pack and will die without it. Soon a drought comes to the jungle, the rivers dry up, the trees turn yellow, and all the animals suffer from the heat. The Rock of Peace emerges in the midst of the dried-up river. When the animals see it, they must declare a truce, because according to the laws of the jungle, thirst is much worse than hunger. All the inhabitants of the jungle rush to the watering hole, including former enemies: rhinos, buffaloes, rodents, birds, and of course wolves together with the little Mowgli. Many animals look at the boy with interest. They have never seen such a creature before. Mowgli draws water into a makeshift vessel, and Akela scolds the boy for using human tricks again, because real wolves don't do that. Suddenly, animals hear some noise. Akela orders Mowgli to hide behind a rock. A huge angry tiger is approaching the watering hole. It is Shere Khan, the most dangerous predator in the jungle. He smells the human scent and demands Akela to give the boy to him. The wolves refuse, for Mowgli is a member of their pack. Besides, they remind the tiger of the law of the jungle. Then Shere Khan declares that after the truce is over, he will come for his prey, and no one will stop him. Soon, the rainy season comes to the jungle. The animals rejoice that the drought is over, and they are no longer dying of thirst. The wolves gather for a council to decide Mowgli's fate. They realize that Shere Khan will come for the boy, and rivers of blood will be shed. At that point, Mowgli makes a decision to leave the pack, so that his wolf family doesn't risk their lives for him. Raksha asks the adopted son to stay, but Bagheera supports Mowgli and promises to accompany the boy. Mowgli bids farewell to his wolf mother and leaves with Bagheera in search of a new home. The panther wants to return Mowgli to people. After all, he is a human child. But the boy himself is against it, because he is not familiar with people and is even little afraid of them. On their way, the protagonists meet a herd of large and proud elephants. They are highly respected in the jungle and even considered the creators of Mother Nature. Mowgli and Bagheera bow to the wise elephants and continue on their way. They head towards the village when Shere Khan hunts them down and attacks the boy. Bagheera stands up for Mowgli and engages in an unequal fight with the huge tiger so that the boy has time to run away and hide. Mowgli runs for his life, but Shere Khan quickly fights off the panther and rushes after him in pursuit. Looks like the boy has no chance to escape. But a herd of buffaloes appears on his way, and Mowgli immediately jumps on the back of one of them. Shere Khan will never catch up with such an opponent. In the meantime, the wolves miss Mowgli very much, in particular Raksha and Little Grey. The fierce Shere Khan comes to their pack, brazenly lays down on the rock near Akela, and declares that he will catch the boy whatever it takes. He lunges at Akela and throws the pack leader off the cliff. The dangerous tiger declares himself the leader of the jungle and demands everyone to obey his orders. Let's return to Mowgli. The poor boy is so tired that he falls asleep right on the buffalo's back. Heavy rain is eroding the mountains and the roots, which results in a landslide of mud and broken trees. Mowgli jumps off the buffalo's back into a ravine filled with rainwater. He climbs up a fallen tree to avoid being washed away by the flood and floats on it as if it were a boat. Once getting ashore, the boy calls for Bagheera, but instead of the panther, he finds a huge snake skin. Mowgli also notices a bunch of appetizing fruits on a tree, reaches for it, and eats the ripe fruit with pleasure. He even treats them to a little jungle dweller, but its parents steal the entire bunch, and the boy rushes in pursuit of the thieves. Alas, he fails to catch up with them, and soon Mowgli realizes that he has lost his way and has fallen into some kind of a cave. There, the boy encounters a huge python. The insidious snake calls his name. Kaa coils around the boy and tries to hypnotize him. For this purpose, Kaa tells Mowgli the story of his appearance in the jungle. It turns out that when he was a baby, he and his father had to spend the night inside a cave in the forest. To keep warm, the man lit a fire, which the inhabitants of the jungle call the Red Flower. All the animals are terrified of fire, and it can destroy everything it touches. The tiger, Shere Khan, burst into the cave and attacked Mowgli's father. The fierce predator took the man's life, but in doing so, he himself suffered from the fire and was badly burned by the Red Flower. The wounded tiger ran away from the cave without noticing the baby. The baby was found by Bagheera, who brought him to Akela's pack. Having finished the story, the treacherous snake opens its mouth and tries to swallow Mowgli, but at that very moment, it is attacked by a large bear. He rescues the boy and takes him into his cave. We find out that the bear's name is Baloo, and as a sign of gratitude, he asks the boy to help him get honey. The thing is that bears need to eat a lot before hibernating, and there are bee honeycombs filled with sweet, delicious, fragrant honey on the rock next to the cave. Baloo assures Mowgli that the bees are not dangerous at all. Mowgli agrees to use lianas to make a long rope. He climbs up the high rock and drops the honeycombs full of honey to the bear. However, the poor boy is stunned by dozens of bees, and it's rather painful. The dwellers of the jungle watch this process with great interest. Mowgli shows the stings to Baloo, and the bear justifies that the honey was guarded by the females, and they do sting, unlike males. Baloo offers the boy to stay in the jungle and live together, but Mowgli refuses. Baloo then leads the boy to the outskirts of the village and shows him the remains of a fire. That is where people live, but Mowgli suddenly changes his mind and stays with Baloo. They become good friends. Mowgli is constantly extracting honey for Baloo using various methods to make the process easy and safe. In their free time, they swim in the river, sing cheerful songs, and have a great time. On one such carefree day, Bagheera finally finds the boy. Mowgli shows the panther how he gets honey for Baloo, and Bagheera becomes furious. The thing is, bears don't hibernate in the jungle. The lazy bear just fooled the naive boy. Bagheera declares that he will take Mowgli to people in the morning. Just before dawn, the boy is awakened by strange sounds. The elephants are trumpeting in fright. It sounds like they are in trouble. Indeed, a little elephant has fallen into a pit. Mowgli uses his makeshift ropes made of lianas and helps to rescue the baby. In the meantime, Bagheera confesses to Baloo that Akela is no longer alive, and Shere Khan is now sitting in his place, waiting for Mowgli. This makes Baloo agree to let the boy go. He lies to Mowgli that he is supposedly annoyed with the boy and asks him to go to the village. The offended boy climbs up a tree. There, a large pack of monkeys captures him and carries him away. Baloo and Bagheera rush to help their friend, but the monkeys prove to be fast and agile. Despite this, the bear and the panther continue the chase, crossing the river and climbing up a high, steep cliff. Meanwhile, the monkeys bring Mowgli to an old abandoned temple to see their king. It is a giant monkey named Louis. He tosses the boy some ripe papaya fruits, and the latter enjoys that taste very much. The Monkey King offers Mowgli his protection only on one condition. The boy must obtain the red flower for him. Having a fire in his possession, Louie will become a fully fledged lord of the jungle. At that moment, Baloo appears in the temple and a pack of monkeys immediately attacks him. While Baloo is fighting them off, Bagheera sneaks up behind and stealthily leads Mowgli away. Alas, the monkeys notice them too. The protagonists immediately rush to escape from the temple, and the monkeys chase after them. A fierce fight ensues, and even Louie himself takes part in it. He is so huge that he breaks the walls of his own temple. Afterward, he finds Mowgli and says that Shahira Khan has defeated Akela, which means that the boy has no other place to go. Meanwhile, the fight becomes more and more violent, and even Baloo's furious roar doesn't save the situation. Mowgli manages to escape from the huge Louie just before the temple is completely destroyed. He leaves his friends and runs away all alone, as he now has only one intention: to seek revenge on Shahira Khan for Akela's death. At night, the boy sneaks into the village and steals the torch with the red flower, after which he runs back into the jungle to the Council Rock. Alas, Mowgli acts too carelessly. Sparks from his torch fall onto the ground and ignite the dry grass. Anxiety grows among the animals. They rush to the river, realizing the water is the only thing that can save them. Mowgli comes to Shahira Khan and challenges him in front of the inhabitants of the jungle. The tiger only laughs in response. Then, the boy throws his flaming torch into the river and challenges Shahira Khan to a duel. The tiger is about to attack Mowgli, but all of a sudden, Baloo appears and stands up for the boy. Bagheera approaches his friend from the other side. The whole wolf pack joins them. The mad Shahira Khan is determined to fight all of them at the same time and pounces on Baloo. The tiger wounds the bear, and the wolves rush to the attack. Mowgli runs with them, but Bagheera advises the boy to fight like a human. While the beasts try to hold off Shahira Khan, Mowgli runs into the blazing forest and makes several strong ropes of lianas. Having defeated all his opponents, Shahira Khan rushes after Mowgli. The boy climbs up to the top of an old tree, and the tiger follows him. He tries to reach the boy with his long claws and sharp teeth, but our little hero climbs higher and higher. Mowgli walks along a long dry branch like a tightrope walker and performs an incredible swing on lianas over the blazing forest. Shahira Khan attempts to catch up with his prey, but falls from the broken dry branch down into the red flower. Mowgli is walking through the jungle and encounters a herd of elephants. He bows to the wise animals and soon returns to his friends riding one of them. The elephants fell some of the trees to make a dam and stop the fire. And they succeed. The wolf pack greets Mowgli with a joyful howl. Now, the inhabitants of the jungle live in peace again. Raksha is the new leader of the pack, and she constantly reminds everyone about the law of the jungle. Bagheera continues to train Mowgli, the young wolves, and even Baloo. And after training, the friends relax together in a tree and look absolutely happy. Did you enjoy the recap? Then make us happy with your likes. We love them even more than Baloo loves honey. I'll see you later, friends.